I'm losing my fucking mind right now. The fight scene, boom. The fight scene, whatever, what's his name? The little nigga, the little fiery nigga, Fire Fist or whatever the fuck his name is. He chasing dude and he's setting everything on fire. And they got a song playing in the background. It's one of them where they got the old school choir, but like it's the white choir that be doing like the that bullshit. But they're saying holy shit balls. Like they're singing holy shit balls while all this is going on. It's fucking hilarious. But you ain't even get that because you got the PG, the PG-13 version. That's ass.
Yeah, they was changing. You know, he was changing some of the stuff that he was like. It was obviously supposed to be like some cussing shit in there, and he just changed it. So,
did they not show like some of the gore? Like, did you still see Deadpool get ripped in half by Juggernaut?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did still see that. I'm sure that's not like PG-13.
I mean, all he did was rip him in half, though. They'll let a 13-year-old see that. What they did do was when he had the little baby legs, and then they show like they just censored that out. The when he crossed his legs and
yeah.
They blurred that out.
They just blurred it.
Mm-hmm. So it was obvious like what happened. They blurred it.
That's funny as hell. Hey, what's her name? Zazie Beetz? Fine as hell, boy.
Big Bad Domino.
Fine as hell. Bro, she got one more movie. So far I seen what I seen. I seen her in Harder They Fall. I seen her in this, and I seen her in Joker. She got one more movie where she looking bad like that, and she's getting replaced. SZA is getting replaced on my list.
Okay.
SZA is getting replaced. She's going from 1 to 2 on my top side bitches.
What's good with it, Eric? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I saw Joker. I can't really remember. I know her name for sure, but I can't really remember like some of the other stuff that I've seen her in.
You saw Harder They Fall, right?
Yeah, that too.
It's not much that I can. I know I seen her in like where she was younger. I think I saw that shit recently. Maybe I don't know. But as of right now, it go SZA, Zazie, and what's that girl name? Damn, what's that girl name? Light skinned John from she was in Luke Cage. She got the new Star Wars shit. Damn, what's her name, bro? I always forget her name. She was in Josie and the Pussycats back in the day. Bro, I can't remember her name. I'll remember that shit. I'm gonna remember that shit at some point.
Yeah,
that's my top 3 side bitches though.
I didn't see Luke Cage, and
you ain't seen none of the like Netflix Defender shit, right?
Nah. None of the Netflix shows like that. I didn't see any of those.
Yeah, you tweaking. You need to go ahead and pay that subscription for Disney Plus, bro.
And you know what I do. I got a Disney Plus, I think, but I got Amazon Prime too. I only use them when I have to.
I feel like you could have used that hoe for this entire series we've been on.
Yeah, but I didn't have to. You know, like I was bootlegging The Boys for like the Boys episodes for like the first 4 episodes, and then the site I was using, like it didn't really have them on there, like whenever they drop. So I was like, okay, I got to go to Amazon Prime.
I feel like that's extremely backwards. That's backwards as shit. You already pay some shit, and The Boys is literally a part of made by the shit that you already pay for.
But I don't.
But you go steal it.
I don't pay for Prime Video. I pay for Prime for just the Amazon part of it.
And that's like
Prime Video just a perk.
I don't pay for water because I'm dehydrated. I pay for it because I'm thirsty. Like that doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know, Prime is more than Prime Video.
Of course I do. I have it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I pay for it for the Prime part. The video part is there, but that don't mean I just use it.
Bro, one of the main shows that you've been watching over the last 4 to 5 years is right the fuck there.
And it's also right there on the bootlegs too.
You gotta go find the bootleg.
Well, I mean, I keep the site open. I got a site open right now. I just keep it open.
Jesus Christ.
I think it got Game of Thrones on the one that's open though.
Yeah, no, that's mad extra, bro.
Yeah, man.
Cue the music.
That's my line.
I just picked one. I'm gonna go back and edit that shit so I don't have to keep timing the fucking ending of it. That song is actually double of that duration. I just time it to turn it off.
Right, a new one cut off like early.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go back and edit that one so it cut off at the right time.
All right, man. What's good, everybody, man? We back with another episode of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. And today we came to bring y'all Deadpool 2, part of our crash course. We got Deadpool 2. We got Logan, which Logan was supposed to happen yesterday. Had, a delay with that. So Logan is probably happening.
A delay.
Today.
A nigga disappeared.
Yeah. That's a professional way to say it, Roots. We had a delay. What's good, Eric, man? Salute to you. If y'all here, man, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. The link is in the description. And
if you're watching from the Real Rap Coalition, the rap page, please go subscribe to Real Rap Coalition, the podcast page, which is REELWRAP Coalition. Go hit the like on that video. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on so you can be up to date whenever we go live, whenever we drop new shit.
Facts. Spoiler alert too. We get into spoilers, man. Sometimes we don't talk about the movie. Sometimes we do. We finna talk about the movie or some. And we're not finna be here all day with this because, might be another show later. And plus, I got shit to do anyway. So,
it's almost here, man.
Is it raining?
Shit we've been waiting on. Yeah, it is.
Raining? Okay. I was like, what the hell is that?
The shit we've been waiting on for mad long. Deadpool and Wolverine comes out on Friday officially. Select theaters tomorrow. I'm going to see it tomorrow because I'm not fucking waiting. This is my favorite shit, and I'm going to see it as early as possible.
Yeah, like I said, Deadpool was my favorite shit too, especially when it first came out. I will say, like, after this crash course, man, watching all these movies leading up to this, I'm definitely a lot more excited too. Like, I was excited when the trailer first dropped. After going through all these movies, man, and following the storyline to where we are now, just watching Deadpool again. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. So it's coming out tomorrow, man. We're gonna have a review for y'all. We're gonna have it this opening weekend, man, without a doubt. So don't even worry about that. If we got to do it with 2 people, man, we got to do it with 3 people. We're going to have it out. Don't worry about it.
Whatever the fuck happens. We making sure we putting this shit out this weekend.
Facts. So, as you can see from the title, we got Deadpool 2 versus Once Upon a Deadpool. Because when I went, like I said earlier, I watched bootlegs, and so I went to a bootleg of Deadpool 2, right? And then I was watching, I was like, this looks real familiar. And it was actually Deadpool 1, bro. Like, I don't know why, but Deadpool 1 was on the first one I went to. I was like, yeah,
Right.
nah, I got to go change this. I went to another website. Okay, Deadpool 2. I turn it on, and it's something completely different I've never seen. I'm like, bro, what the hell is this? And it's Deadpool, and he kidnapped Fred Savage. You know Fred Savage?
Yeah.
Fred Savage is in it. He kidnapped him, allegedly. Fred Savage is tied up in a bed, pause, or chained in a bed or something, pause. And it's the scene from Princess Bride, because Fred Savage was the in Princess Bride, and so it's like a recreation of like Princess Bride, and he's there, and it's a story.
Which is a fire movie, by the way. I just watched it, went back and watched that shit a couple weeks ago.
Facts, Princess Bride was fire. And it's basically Deadpool like reading him a story, like how they did in the movie. He's reading him a story, and the story is about Deadpool 2, basically telling him the family-friendly PG-13 version of Deadpool 2. So a lot of the cursing is toned down. They do some things in here. Well, obviously, they still got the jokes. They got the little breaking of the third wall stuff. And
Fourth wall.
Yeah, I say third wall. What is that?
You did. I don't know what that is.
I gotta see what the third wall is. But yeah, breaking. They broke the fourth wall. They did it obviously in the movie, and they also did it in the cut scenes with Fred Savage and Deadpool and everything. So it was fire to me. Just seeing this different perspectives, because I've seen Deadpool 2 before. I've never seen this version of it, so I think this was cool too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I never actually watched it. I've always known about it. It's just I gotta have me some cussing, man. I gotta have me some cussing. I gotta hear fuck a lot, and the explicitity of the Deadpool jokes has to be there. That's part of the reason why I like Deadpool. He's not your Deadpool is not your average superhero franchise. It is something way different. They do what the fuck they want, and they make fun of the shit that don't do what they want.
I agree, but I think what I can say about this, Once Upon a Deadpool, is that so obviously Deadpool 2 came out first, and then they went back and they kind of edited this a little bit and redid certain things, added in some things. And so something that I saw that they did was that they were able to take Deadpool 2, and it was like some things they were using like Fred Savage to point out, to where he was like kind of pointing out some like plot holes or some things that might have happened in the movie that weren't addressed, and he was kind of addressing it. Like, well, for instance, the scene where, like you said, Juggernaut splits him in half.
Yeah.
And we see him on the couch with the baby legs, like real iconic scene, right? And it cuts to Fred Savage talking about it, and he's like, he says something like, so wait, if the top half of the body is growing like baby legs, because she took the top half, he was like, put my top half on your back, like backpack straps or something like that. And so he was like, okay, if the top half is growing baby legs, then doesn't it make sense that the bottom half is growing like a baby head or something? Which also means that it's like two Deadpools then, because the bottom half was growing. And then he was like, well, the other one needs to come back into the storyline at some point. So he was kind of like addressing something that was like, yeah, we didn't think about that, but they actually, that's a theory that kind of makes sense. If one
that would mean that there's two Deadpools now.
Yeah, because you was growing the baby legs with the top half, so is the bottom half paws gonna grow like a top half?
Baby?
Right. So I mean, yeah, they was able to do like little things like that, like point out little, plot, quote unquote, plot holes within the movie, and kind of like give a little commentary on it and stuff like that. So it was cool to see that too. Even the part about, how we kind of break down the movies and we give our analysis and everything. Like even the part at the beginning, he kind of did the same thing with the breaking of the fourth wall. Whenever Vanessa got killed, he basically put it out there like, oh, he was like, oh, you fridge Vanessa, and he started talking about how it's a comic book trope, the obvious trope that we all see all the time, where somebody is just in the movie to serve as like motivation or as a, something to push the story along for the character like that.
Yeah.
He just pointed that out, like, oh, so Vanessa was only in the beginning of this movie just to for you to use as motivation and to further your story and this and that. So he was having like that type of insight and shit on it.
So basically, he was giving like a third party commentary to the movie
Right,
as the
right.
movie is happening. That's fire.
Art said, I personally don't think that theory makes sense, but it's the nitpick. I mean, it kind of does, right? Because
It definitely does.
What I'm
if you
thinking
cut a
is,
starfish in half, it grows back into 2 full starfishes.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, Art. Like if you cut it in half and one part of it is growing the rest of the body, doesn't that mean the other part should be growing the rest of the body too? Or no?
If that's how his regeneration works, in which so far that's how it works. Whenever he lost his hand or cut off his hand in the first one, he grew back a hand. Now, would I say that it makes sense that the hand itself would grow a whole nother body? No, not necessarily, because it's not enough there to produce, the rest of it.
But look at what you said though, Roots. When he cut off his hand, he grew his hand back. When he cut off the bottom half of the body, it grew the bottom half back. So if you cut off the top half, is it gonna grow a top half back or what? It's like that 50% Chad thing.
How the fuck did you manage?
They don't know about 50% Chad, man.
How the fuck did you manage to sneak 50% Chad into this bullshit, bro?
That's what he is, bro. He just a bottom half of a pause.
That's all he is.
LDA, man. That's all he is, man. They don't know about that. But yeah, I think that was an interesting perspective. I think Art said it. I don't know if I understood him correctly or not, but I think in the Discord he said he might have saw that one Once Upon a Deadpool. He thought it was ass. So, but I think it's an interesting
Art is a fucking hipster. He's a fucking contrarian. That's what he does. But anyway, a lot of this, what I noticed about both the first one and this one is, though it's deep seated in comedy, in action, and all these other things, it still has a level of drama to it. It still has, like in the first one, his insecurity about how he felt kept him from talking to Vanessa, whereas in this one, his grief and wanting to see her again is what powered him and pushed him throughout this movie. And it turned into, and what he said, which was, I mean, he said it comedically, but this is a movie about family. It's about, a bunch of different pieces coming together to make one, solid team. You got Domino, you got Cable, you got Colossus, Nega Teenage War. What is it? Nega Teenage Warhead, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You got all of these people together, and they came together as a support system for Deadpool in his time of need. And I fuck with that. I fuck with how they can be extremely funny but still have a serious tone or a serious message in the movie.
So Art says, with that logic, when his hand got cut off, does a whole other body grow back from the hand? No, Art. I think what it is when a part gets cut off, the rest of like what's missing is what grows back. So in theory, the hand got cut off, so hands grew back. In theory, they cut the body in half, and they took the top half, which is just the upper torso, the arms, the head, the neck, and all that. And so the rest of the body had to grow back: the legs, the knees.
If there's not enough mass to reproduce more mass, then it doesn't necessarily make sense. The same thing with lizards. Whenever they break their tail off to get out of a situation or something like that, they grow the tail back. The tail doesn't grow a body back. But
but
the
that's
same
what I'm
way with
trying to explain with art.
yeah,
Like the fact that the body was split in half and we only took one part with
and we
us,
only
like they
follow
left
one part.
we only followed one part, and so whatever was missing from that part is what grew back. So in theory, what was missing from the bottom half is the top half. So doesn't that mean the top half would need to grow back too? We just didn't follow it to see it, but I mean, if we're
Right.
keeping that same consistency, what's missing has to grow back from this nigga. I don't know.
Well, fuck all that. This ain't no goddamn science theory lesson, whatever the fuck. They start out this movie with an immediate fourth wall break and talking about the ending of Logan, in which we'll get to that when we get to it, hopefully. But they start from the wind up music box type toy with Wolverine on the spike, which is how he got killed in Logan. He winds it up and then presses the stick in order for it to play, and he starts off talking shit about Wolverine's like, oh well, look, this motherfucker's a fucking they call it a topper. They mention it in Zombieland. A topper is a person that has to one up the next person. So if you're in a conversation with a group of people and there's a topper there, you'll tell a story and then they tell a story simply to try to one up your story that you told. So he's talking about how Logan died in his. So fuck it, I'm gonna have to die in mine to be better. And he's trying to commit suicide. We find out the reason why he's trying to commit suicide is because he feels that Vanessa dying was his fault. In which I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, there wasn't much he could do. He got caught off guard. And with him being able to fight off that many people, being off guard, just in his fucking pajamas, chilling with his girl, I figured that was enough. But you can't tell a grieving person how to grieve. But that is a great place to start off with the movie. They kind of Chris Brown Vanessa, in which you made mention of that. I didn't realize that was a comic book trope as well, but it's definitely a movie trope where the person that they have in the movie, there's a person in the movie that is simply used for motivation. You see him in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, they die or get kidnapped or something terrible happens to them, and then you don't see him in the rest of the movie because they're being used as a catalyst for whatever happens next.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can go back to Art comment too. He said his theory will be whatever side of the body, the conscious, aka the brain, is connected, is what is able to be grow or whatever she said. Yeah, I thought about that too, but I don't know. Either way, that's something that they brought up. I think it could make sense. What about some of the cameos in this? Because obviously we got Ryan Reynolds,
Terry Crews, we got Ryan Reynolds, the star. We got Brad Pitt. We have
Josh
all the
Brolin.
ones that I know. Who is that?
Cable, aka Thanos, which they made mention of.
I wouldn't say that's because he's a character, and they broke the fourth wall by mentioning another person that he plays in the Marvel universe. But I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a cameo.
Well, I meant yeah, you're right, but I meant the other characters in this movie that we didn't talk about, the ones not from the first movie. So that's what I meant when I said that. But like you said, Terry Crews for sure. You want to talk about the ones that died in a minute, like a minute after? Terry Crews.
Yeah, that Terry Crews, fucking Brad Pitt out of there in fucking 60. Maybe they had 2 minutes of screen time. Brad Pitt had 3 seconds of screen time.
The Brad Pitt,
I didn't think that was him. I think they just used a picture.
No, it was him. And the reason that, so I can explain the Brad Pitt one. So the Brad Pitt one was it was like a little joke, and it was essentially like, well, Brad Pitt, one of the biggest movie stars, in our culture. So what's like the best way that we can waste like a cameo from him type shit? And so they made him invisible, and then they had him there where we saw him for like 2 seconds. But the fact that he was in this movie, I think I mentioned it when we watched Bullet Train. That's the reason Ryan Reynolds did the cameo in Bullet Train.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, for that exact reason, because Brad Pitt did one for him, and so even though I think Ryan Reynolds was a little bit longer, right? Maybe. Pause.
Yeah, we actually saw him twice. We saw him when he got pulled up on, and he asked the question about does it involve sex stuff or something like that? Or
Yeah,
am I thinking of?
it was 2 scenes.
Yeah, and then
It
they
was 2
spun back and
scenes.
showed him again.
Yeah, so Brad Pitt had 1 scene. So, but that was the reason why Brad Pitt was he got Ryan Reynolds for that movie, because he did this one. I think it was cool. I
And
guess
it's a testament to how creative these motherfuckers are, even to make something ass. That's because that's an ass cameo. That's terrible.
Purposely too.
But that was exactly, it was on purpose. They were like, how can we look like we fucked this up?
Also Matt Damon was in this too. I don't know if you recognize him.
Who? How? Where?
Matt Damon played one of them niggas when Cable stole that truck. One of them niggas was Matt Damon.
What?
Niggas sitting out there drinking beer.
Oh, it must have been the one that wasn't talking then.
I don't remember which one it was. I know one of them was him.
Because one was going through a tutorial on how to wipe your ass most efficiently. Going back and forth between.
Let me see.
I gotta go back and see it now. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna see if I can get a picture. Yep.
Fucking Matt Damon sitting there talking about how to wipe your ass.
Hold on. But yeah, keep going. I got a picture of it on the post.
But yeah, nah, he he gives a tutorial on how to wipe your ass, talking about how use the toilet paper, and he's talking about it as if he's explaining either the cure for cancer or the recipe for fucking filet mignon of so this is your, what does he say? This is your main shit right here. You go through with toilet paper, then you come back with the baby wipe, and then one more time over to get up that excess moisture. Maybe you might get you a good going blow if you find what is it, a hand blower. Get you a good 15 to 20 seconds of that, and you should be good to go.
Art said it's a running joke with Ryan Reynolds in a new movie. If they got Brad Pitt listed as an invisible character that doesn't talk, he literally contributed nothing to the movie. Yeah, I didn't see If. I know If was very popular, just came out. Ryan Reynolds. I haven't seen it. Take your kids to see it, man. I think it's a family friendly movie from what I know about it.
Well, I think it's on streaming services. It keeps popping up on my Roku as advertising.
Yeah, it is, because that shit was in theaters like months ago. So it got to be.
I didn't even fucking know it was in theaters. But yeah, I think it's on like Paramount. It's either on Paramount or it's on Prime.
I got the Matt Damon picture right here. Hold on. Oh no, it's 2 of me.
And the second one.
Now it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. That doesn't even make sense. Are you on your phone and your laptop?
Look at him wanting to know the secrets.
Why is that a secret?
Nigga want to know the ways of the slim. What's wrong with you?
Bro, don't make yourself a fucking pronoun, please. Or a fucking noun. Whatever the fuck it is. Don't do that.
You want to tell me what to do with my name.
That sounds better than referring to yourself as the Slim.
Now he pissed. Here you go, right here.
Frank Savage narrating right now?
This nigga.
No way.
Matt Damon.
That's
I
crazy.
think that was the one that was talking about it, right?
That's definitely the dude talking about wiping his ass.
Yeah, I think they just put like prosthetics and like
hella fucking prosthetics. I can't even tell it. Even side by side, I can't tell that that's him.
If you look at the face, like the cheeks, pause. It's the same. Whoa. Like the color, pause. No, the color not pause.
You don't have to pause the color.
Yeah, the color not pause, but the cheeks was. It does. But like, if you look at the face, like away from the beard and the hair, don't look at that. Look at the face. The face is the same.
I think if I focus on the eyes, I can see it. But that's it.
I
They
see it
even
in the
like did
cheeks
some
too.
work.
Pause.
Like they put some. Bro, stop saying that.
Come on, bro. It's a part on your
Say
face.
sides of his face.
It's the part on his face, man.
But you keep saying the cheeks.
That's what
Like,
they are, bro.
yeah, but that's also what I say when I'm about to go fuck something, about to get
Yeah,
some
but that's
cheeks.
the
Or I'm about to
secondary
go get the
meaning of it.
cheeks.
That's literally the secondary meaning of it.
Yeah,
Ass cheeks. Face cheeks are more prevalent than ass cheeks. Oh, speaking of that, they had some pause in this movie. Obviously, it's a Deadpool movie. Ryan Reynolds.
They're gonna have
They do a
hella
lot of
pause
pause
shit.
things. Man, why he hugged Colossus and then gripped like a
Grabbed his ass.
handful of metal cheeks, bro.
And then Colossus moved his hand and he put it back.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him, man. That's why they got the new Xbox controller with the cheeks on there, bro. They just do anything.
Niggas are weird. Niggas are weird. Niggas are weird.
Anything, bro.
So it's two things that stand out for me in this movie. One of them I actually went looking for, and the other one kind of caught me as a surprise. Mm-hmm. The intro, like the opening credits of this shit, is so fucking fire and hilarious at the same time. He did it in a way. I don't know if you've ever watched like a 007 movie, but they have this like super like creative visually like shit like going by. Like you got the cheese, what is it, the cream cheese spreader creating the barrier, and then you got the I forget, is it Footloose where they do it, where the girl sits down in the chair and pulls the fucking chain and water comes down, whereas when he does it, he sits down in the chair, pulls the chain, and a bunch of bullet shells come down. That's fucking fire. Whoever the fuck they have singing this song is going crazy. But that visually was super fire for me. And something that I found out while watching, they kind of so New Rockstar actually did like a full breakdown, not a full break, like a speed breakdown of all of the movies leading up to Deadpool and Wolverine. And one of the things they mentioned was Juggernaut is actually voiced by Ryan Reynolds. And I couldn't tell like watching it, but just the fact that it's a thing is dope to me. Mm-hmm. And the comedy of him like fanning out over Juggernaut, which is actually himself, is just another like self jab at how his ego is.
Another thing they do is like, obviously it's his movie. They do like the self jabs, like kind of like you just said, like, because in the last one, he said something about Ryan Reynolds, like Deadpool made a joke about Ryan Reynolds, but I can't remember what it was in that one.
He said, I look like Ryan Reynolds mixed with a Sharpay, which is actually a line from a comic book before Ryan Reynolds was involved with Deadpool back in 2004, which is the one that he read. Like somebody, what he was filming Blade 3 at the time, and somebody bought him this issue of Deadpool where they mentioned his name. And that's what caused him to say, you know what? I fucking love this shit.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was the one that I was talking about, but it might have been another one. But I know in this one, they did they didn't mention his name, but they did the end credit where he went back to fix the timeline, and then he shot Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern.
Stopped him from doing Green Lantern. I wish somebody would have fucking did that shit. That movie is terrible.
I saw it a long time ago. I don't remember how it was though.
That shit was terrible then,
bro. I was a kid, like younger when I saw it.
I think I was at that point. I was kind of figuring out the difference between a good movie and a bad one, and I knew from first watch that shit was terrible.
Yeah, what you thought about Yukio?
Fire. Did not notice that the same. I mean, that character is just a younger version of the one that we see in the Wolverine. But I mean, she was cool for like being there. She didn't really do much.
Wolverine?
Yeah, the second Wolverine. The second, like the
second Wolverine, not Origins. Origins was the first one.
Not Origins, right? Not Origins, but the Wolverine. Yes.
Yukio was. Oh yeah. Yukio was Was that the
one that could see the future?
Daughter? Oh, the one that could see the future. Okay, yeah. Facts. You
I
know
think
what's
she has
crazy?
pink hair in that too.
What's crazy is I didn't even put that connection together. Honestly, I forgot the name. But
Might wanna fact check that. I'm not.
I
Not
think that
the
is
more
the
I think
name.
about it, I might be wrong. Like,
Let me see. I can do this. Yeah, you might be wrong. Let me see. The Wolverine,
may have been thinking of Yumiko,
but you could be right too, because I don't think I
but
took notes on
Yumiko could
Wolverine.
also be a character in Jujutsu Kaisen because I've
Let
been
me look
watching
it
that
up.
recently.
Yukio, Deadpool.
Make sure you spell it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
So it's the same one. Okay, cool.
Lord Shingen, or however you said his name, that was the son in that Wolverine movie, right?
Yep,
And Yukio is an assassin for him, so it has to be the
yep,
same person, if I'm
yep,
correct.
yep.
So yeah, that's a connection. It's just like you said, it's a teenage version of that.
Right.
Also
And they have her as the girlfriend of Negasonic
Teenage
Teenage
Warhead.
Warhead.
Also the the scene where he's talking to Colossus in the X Mansion, and you see the X-Men behind him
Hilarious.
closing the
Every
door and
single
shit.
time I see it, it's fucking funny as shit.
That part right there, they shot that whenever they were doing Dark Phoenix, and they just like sent it
So
to
they just
the.
had him pull up and like, hey, do this real quick.
I
Or
don't know.
he
I don't
probably
know.
pulled up and said, let me do this real quick. And then
But
got the
this
fuck
is
up
what I
out
was
of
going
there.
to say. I don't know if he actually pulled up or if it's like editing, and they just like
It could very much be editing.
it's one of the two. Either way, like either he pulled up when they were shooting and they filmed it that way, or either they filmed it like that and then they sent it to the makers of Deadpool 2 so they can edit him in there, him and Colossus.
Either way, it's a dope joke.
Yeah, I think it's fire. You see Beast closing the door, Professor X in
Another
there, Storm in
another
there.
another fault another wall break, fourth wall break. Whenever Teenage Warhead is working on the time watch, he calls her 11, which is who she plays in Stranger Things.
Facts. Wait, what? That's Millie Bobby Brown?
I'm sorry, scratch that. Millie Bobby Brown. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting shit mixed up. So Millie Bobby Brown is actually a person that auditioned for the role of X-24, which is Logan's daughter. She didn't get it, and the person that did get it got it. But that's why those things cross
Okay.
paths in my mind.
Another thing that was in the one I watched was that whenever whenever Cable first pulled up, because Ryan Reynolds is telling the story, and whenever Cable pulls up, the nigga Fred Savage is like, "Whoa, wait, you got Cable in this?" And he started going down the, we got into it in X-Men 97, which they didn't really get into it in Deadpool 2, but he got into it like, "Oh, whoa, you got Cable in this?" And he was like, "Oh, wait, you know Cable? You know Cable?" And nigga was like, "Yeah, the son of Madeline Pryor and Cyclops, and he's from a future, and he got the virus." And like he started talking about the lore and the backstory of Cable.
So he started fanning out about Cable.
Yeah, and he told her, he was like, I hope you got the nuanced, richly layered backstory, and you told about it and this and that." Like, when obviously they didn't. They just threw
didn't do
Cable in
any
the
of
story.
that.
So he kind of did that where he gave the
They just
entire
made him. They used
backstory.
him as little as they use as little lore from him as possible. He time travels. That's it.
Right. And I think that's another aspect of Once Upon a Deadpool that I kind of like. Like I said, like he's giving commentary on the Deadpool 2 movie in a way, and like different things that weren't addressed or that should have been addressed. And so he was kind of pointing that out, like, okay, here's the entire lore and backstory of Cable in like 30 seconds. And I hope you put that into the movie because that's very important and people need to know that. And Deadpool just looked at him when he did it, like, obviously it's not in the movie. So The nigga was
Nah,
like, "Yeah,
that's fire.
we covered the time travel stuff." Like that's what he said. What about that nigga being in the X Mansion and he put Cerebro on? Like this nigga
And
was
he just
tripping, bro.
bullshitting with it, bro. He's like, he starts trying to read his mind. He's like, that's not what it's for.
That's why I think Deadpool is so fire, bro. They do whatever they want. Like this nigga, they take these different references and these things from other movies and shows, and just
Mm,
not even movies and shows, from just things in popular culture and stuff that we all know about, or things that have come up over the years, and they just
mm.
take it and they integrate it, whether in a joke or in a scene or however. And I think it's kind of fire because every
Bro, if
every
you ever have time to like just read some shit, or you looking to some shit to get into reading wise, go find Deadpool comics, bro. Like you don't even have to find them really. You can just put them hoes on your phone. Like depending on what type of phone you got. Like I got an Android and they have like Google Playbook on there, and you can get pretty much any book or comic that you want to. But that's how I started getting into Deadpool like that, is reading through the comics, and they're doing the same shit in the comics. Not only that, but he's threaded in to whatever fucking storyline that you want him to be, that you would think, oh, he wouldn't be here. No, he's there. Like they have an issue where he goes back and forth with the scrolls from fucking that was introduced in Captain Marvel. There's a comic where he fights the entire Marvel universe and kills everybody. There's one where he even goes into like fairy tales. So like the everything that sets as a foundation for something else. For example, Three Musketeers was one of the first stories where you have a team of people working together towards a cause, and they have a name, the Three Musketeers. That contributes to all of the teams that you see in comic books. So Justice League, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and everything like that. And he goes and kills the Three Musketeers, so therefore none of these teams ever exist. And that's what he's doing in the comic book, is he's completely tearing apart the fabric that makes all of this stuff make sense, so that everything after it doesn't exist. You know, he goes and kills Mulan because she was the first female lead you know, person in a story, or in a not in a story necessarily, but like you get what I'm saying. You know,
Mhm.
so now Black Widow's story doesn't exist. Now Wonder Woman's story doesn't exist. And Captain Marvel and things of that nature. All of these things disappear because he goes and kills Mulan. You
And
know, and it's super
that's
fucking
something
dope.
that you can do with Deadpool as a character though, because of the way he's designed. The fact that, like I said, you can pretty much do whatever you want in Deadpool. Like
Mm.
there's no set of rule. You can break every rule of a movie or a superhero movie or a comic book, or like you can break like the conventional rules and say, okay, like you just said, I'm gonna go back in time and kill Mulan, or I'm gonna do this cut scene where I go back in time and kill myself from my first superhero movie that I ever made that people don't like. It's like you
Which
can't
is
do that
another
in a,
thing that
in
they
a
do.
Tony Stark Iron Man movie. You know what I'm
Which is
saying?
another thing that they do in the comic books, where he goes and kills the writers of Deadpool so he can stop coming back to life.
But that's what I mean by like just the character itself. Like the
Right.
fact that they designed the character to be that way, you can pretty much do whatever you want with it.
Which DC kind of got the shit end of the stick, because I want to say Deadpool was made in response to Destro or Slade or whatever, whichever name that you know him by. And Deadpool is clearly the better character, because there's so much shit you can do with him.
Well, I won't say they got the short end of the stick. It's kind of like you said, like what they were doing with DC and Marvel back in the day is that they were creating characters which were, like you said, actual counterparts of other
Or
characters.
probably doppelgangers might be the
Right.
better word for it.
And in that particular case, Deadpool was just made better. It was designed better than the DC counterpart of, that superhero. So I won't say he got the short end of the stick, but like in terms of short end of the stick, um what's his name? Shazam.
Mm.
Shazam's original name was Captain Marvel. Like that was the original Captain Marvel, and they ended up having to change it to Shazam because of Marvel, the company. Marvel, the
No,
company, was
Captain Marvelous.
Captain Marvel.
You
That
sure?
Shazam was the original Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers wasn't the Captain Marvel until Shazam had to change his name.
God, like just a business made to whole another business is hilarious.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like if like somebody make their name like Captain Black Roots, you probably gonna be pissed, right? I change your
That's
name,
so
huh?
ass.
Captain Marvel
Nigga
kind of
put
has
Captain
too.
on my name. Like goof
Captain
ass nigga, get
Marvel is
out of here.
also kind of trash, though. I ain't gonna lie. That name is trash.
No, most definitely. Seeing as the entire corporation is Marvel, and you make a Captain Marvel whose power is OP as fuck. However, they're not as relevant as they tried, as you would think they are, seeing that their name is Captain Marvel.
I think that's a writer issue when it comes to like what they did with the movies and the shows and stuff
Mm,
like that. Like Captain
mm,
Marvel could have been a lot better as a character in terms of like popularity and things like that if they would have done it right.
I say all the time, Marvel definitely can solo 1v1 Thanos with all of the fucking gems and probably win.
Yeah. Captain Marvel, Captain I I point it out all the time if you talk about like Endgame,
Mm.
Captain Marvel really was about to win that shit for them. Like
It was what made the entire fight even and being able to progress forward with the plan of getting the gauntlet from, or at least the stones from Thanos.
let me say this then. Shout out Josh Brolin, Thanos, and we talking about him right now as Cable.
Mm.
But the Thanos character in game, he almost lost when Mantis had him under her power before Peter
Hmm.
Quill ended up like messing
Trying to
it up.
pistol whip Thanos
Right, he almost lost right there. He also almost lost. There was a point where Wanda was using her magic
on
to
his ass.
yeah, and then that's when I think Buddy that was with Thanos, I don't remember what his name was, but in either way, she ended up getting like she had to like break
She
free of
got
her
take out.
shit.
She got taken out of fight
Right,
for a minute.
but that was the second time where Thanos was almost defeated. Like if these would have been 1v1, well the Mantis shit not a 1v1, but he almost got beat right there. He would have got beat
Most
in the
definitely.
Scarlet Witch situation, and whenever Captain Marvel came down, she was clearly overpowering him, and that's when he did the thing with the he took out the Power Stone and hit her with it and shit, and he was able to get her with the stone. If we talking just Thanos base level versus Captain Marvel, like she's smoking him.
Most definitely. Which actually definitely helps with the power scale of these different characters, because with no stones, he beat the shit out of Hulk, and we've never seen Hulk lose a fight.
I think he had one. He might have had one, right?
He didn't use that bitch.
Yeah.
He didn't use that bitch at all. That was straight hands. I don't even think he had the gauntlet on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what stone was it that he had first? Because I know he pulled up after
Whichever
Ragnarok.
one is I want to say whichever one is the purple one that they use in Guardians of the Galaxy. Nope, that's not right, because they ended up putting that in the little shit where we first saw or secondly saw Howard the Duck. So it wasn't that one. I forget exactly which one it was.
He had the Power Stone. Yeah, but he didn't
Which
use it.
one is
Like
that?
you said, that's the one he hit Captain Marvel with. And that's the Power Stone is just pretty much quote unquote power. That's what it was for. So
he ain't need that shit for Hulk. He made that nigga go inside, go inside literally.
I mean, he was smoking all them niggas out there. Loki, Thor, Hulk, like all them niggas out there. It was one-eyed Thor, man, and he had just
I mean, shit.
it was one-eyed Thor. Thor would have lost anyway, probably, but it was one-eyed Thor, and he had just had that battle with his sister right before, right?
Yeah, hella.
Which his
Which
sister
probably another
also,
one of them most
yeah,
OP villains ever.
yeah, they couldn't do nothing with her at all.
She probably would have stood better against Captain Marvel than Thanos did.
Let me take
Honestly.
Captain Marvel out of it. And I'm gonna take Wanda out of it too. All them other MCU characters, she cooking them 1v1.
Smoking the fuck out. Yeah, smoke one by one or all at once. Smoking the shit out of them niggas.
And I really want to take Wanda out because Wanda was not the Scarlet Witch yet during any of this. If she was the Scarlet
But
Witch,
she was still like that though.
that's a fact. Like, she almost beat Thanos, like right there. She almost defeated him. Imagine if it was Scarlet Witch version of her, like from Doctor Strange. Like she had to beat.
That's taking out
beat herself.
a lot of fucking people.
She
That's
beat
taking
herself.
out. No, she gave up. She gave up because they had a fucking heart to heart, or she had a heart to heart with herself and her kids that wasn't hers.
Yeah, it was bullshit that happened, and she ended up losing because of that. But nobody was beating her though. That's the thing, man. And Vision was also compromised in Infinity War. Like that wasn't no full Vision that when Thanos pulled up, like that wasn't no full power Vision. That nigga was compromised.
Most definitely.
But aside from that, man, let's get back to Deadpool.
Anything that I would have an issue with, I can't necessarily like. It's like that shit that Poole said about funny games. Whereas if it pisses you off, that's the reason why it's there. It's like if there's a plot hole here, they put it here for it to be a plot hole. Like you can't really be mad at any plot holes that's in this movie because they're even certain parts that he said was having Gamer Chris
man.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Hit the like button, brother. Subscribe. Join the Discord if you want, man. Join the community. It's in the description.
But there was a part. Wow, what was it? Where it was twice where Deadpool said that's terrible writing or something shit like that. Like they did it
at the end.
Yeah,
at the end, he said lazy writing at the end when they was trying to figure out the number and she was like 7.
Oh yeah,
like, it ain't gonna be one number.
And then that shit worked. And he was like, that's lazy writing. But they did that for that joke. So I can't be mad at a plot hole like that where why the fuck is something that is being used to damper mutant powers that is the difference between life and death for the human race. You make that as easy getting out of by pressing one button out of
so let me say 2 things
buttons.
about that, Roots. 2 things. The first one is it could be what you said, or it could be, yeah, we just gonna write some shit, get this over with. It's lazy, and we're gonna address it. Like how we mentioned last time that they're addressing like all the bullshit. So maybe they wrote some bullshit and was like, okay, yeah, let's just make it a joke. Like
but even the cover up of it is fire.
I agree. But
the little bullshit band-aid that they throw over it is a fire joke.
I agree with that. And the other thing is that if you really think about it, if you gotta pick like a code or password or something like that, I don't think nobody in the world gonna think of 7 being the answer.
No, that's not my first guess.
Yeah, I don't.
Even if you give me the hint of it's one number.
Nah,
I'm not guessing 7 first.
But this is the thing: if you don't give me the hint, I'm never gonna think it's a single digit ever.
Most definitely.
So that might be genius too. I don't know. It might be genius. That's like people password being like 1111. I probably never guessed that, and like because it's so obvious that I would never guess that.
I think it was Archer that I was watching where they did something like that, and they was like one of the accounting character got drunk and put money in a bunch of different accounts and put a password behind it, and he spent all day trying to figure out what these passwords were. Excuse me, even going as far as to get drunk to try to recreate it, and the password ended up being guess 123 or some shit.
Poole said, bro, a bitch died for real in this movie, shut her up. At first, I was.
I
Gonna
mean,
ask,
they undid the dying part at the end of it. So I mean,
well, I mean, I thought he was talking about Vanessa at first, but then he said died for real. So he's talking about real life. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't
Why
really
don't
know what he's
you
talking
pull up and talk about it? So we can, you can give some commentary.
about. Hey, bro,
Let us know what you're talking
and
about.
and we didn't talk about this, but this is something that I've been saying for years.
What's up?
Domino, one of the coldest ever, bro. He said
Most definitely.
somebody died during
Fighting wise, damn.
RIP, if that's true. I don't know about it. The stunts for the
Fighting wise, who do you have winning? Black Widow or Domino?
bro, I went through an entire I did a debate like back when them AI things was popping out. I think I posted it
Yeah.
in the Discord. I did a
Where you
debate.
did a debate
I
with the
debated
AI about this?
I debated the AI. It was a who would win AI, and they was doing debates. They was like, pick two characters, and I'm gonna pick a side. I did a debate. I said Deadpool and Domino, and I said I got Domino winning, and I stood on that. And to this day, I stand on it. Domino is that cold that I gotta. I mean, either I don't know.
She has a undefeatable power,
And so
which is
I'll say
luck.
this, but I'll say this, Roots. So I read about her lore back in the day. When I first got into this character, I always thought this character was fire since I first saw this movie, and I read about her character. In the comics, she actually can be beat. She actually can die, quote unquote. But the way they depict her, like in the movie version, I'll say, or just even her power in general, if you take away what I just said about that, like she can't lose. Like what you just said, she can't lose.
Bro, she might have been beating the shit out of Cable before Deadpool pulled up.
Cable can't be, and this is the thing. Watching it this time, I see you can say, oh well, she might have got saved because Cable had a gun in her face and Deadpool pulled up and kicked him over, but that's her power, which means she's
Exactly.
never gonna lose because that's
Exactly.
what her power does. Like
Bro, she can have some shit like you know how in like monster movies they say kill him and make it look like an accident. Everything looks like an accident around her.
right, and I think what
Like
it is in the
when
comic is that
I'm sorry, let me just go through this real quick. When she's trying to get on the fucking the bus or whatever the fuck it is, the transportation, a car gets into an accident, hits a light pole, that falls, cause some type of other accident to where a fucking bus or some shit flips, lands in a ramp lands as a ramp for her to jump off of to get onto the moving train or whatever the fuck it is below the overpass that she just so happened to be on.
Hey, Roots. And so the writing and the directing is so fire in this movie. You know why that scene is so cold? Because the whole time all of that's happening, Deadpool in the background talking to her on the little
talking
phone,
shit,
and he's like
talking mad shit.
He like, yo, luck is not a superpower. Like what you shoot like luck beams out of your arms or something. And the whole time he's saying all that, she just doing all this wild, lucky,
cold
crazy
shit,
stuff, bro. Like, and then
she get there and she's like, I'm in. He's like, how the fuck?
That's what makes that scene so cold. Like you hear him in the background talking about how, oh yeah, you ain't got no real powers. That ain't no power. This and that. And she just doing all this cold shit the whole time.
And then to combat his entire point of like on top of her being able to get on the fucking bus, he tries to do some somewhat cold shit and fucking misses. Ends up rolling down the highway.
Right. Then they like use all your imaginary powers to stop him. Hey, what about when they was on the truck? He was fighting with Cable, and then he moved Cable gun, and Buddy was over there laughing, and he killed him. He was like, "You shot Black Tom, you racist."
You fucking racist.
You racist.
And then when he come back, oh no. Before every time that they mention him, he makes a black joke and it's hilarious. He said, he said when he was talking to dude in the cell and they was in the icebox, he said, make somebody else your friend. Maybe Black Tim or Black Terry, whatever the fuck. All I remember is he was African American. Like, that's funny as hell, bro.
He told him I'm Black Tom. And nigga was like, I'm white.
Said, I'm white Wade Wilson.
Like, what the come on, bro? What's up with these niggas, man?
Nigga shot Black Tom. He's like, you killed him, you racist piece of shit. It was like a brother to me.
Nigga named Black Tom. Hey, and then the scene where Deadpool was fighting Juggernaut. First off, Juggernaut was beating the hell out of Colossus.
Bad. Colossus, bro, he was stomping that nigga, bro. Like, it looked like a street fight.
Colossus really got smoked. Like, it's not even close. They just ended up jumping him.
Well, no, he started getting his get back whenever he got like tossed across or whatever, and he picked up that little metal rod, wrapped it around his head, and socked the nigga.
Nah,
then he did some cold shit too. He fucking did a leg trip into an elbow drop.
Nah, you wildin'. He was getting cooked, and then Yukio had to step in and use that little her little weapon on him, and that's when Negasonic Teenager.
So you saying that nigga wasn't fighting ever at all throughout that fight?
I mean, so this is the thing. He Juggernaut and Colossus, they started off okay. And then Colossus just started dragging him. It was nothing.
They didn't start off okay. He ran in, hit him with a Superman punch, and then immediately started getting beat the fuck up right after.
Well, that's my point. And that was it until he got jumped.
And then he spun back with the little metal shit. He punched him in the eye. I think he stepped on his foot at some point, and then he did the leg sweep into the elbow drop. They went back to the other shit that was going on, and then he was getting beat up again. And then they finally, jumped him. But there was parts where Colossus was getting right, is what I'm saying.
Nah,
he didn't get his ass whooped the whole fight. 90% of the fight, yes, he getting cooked.
You realize what 90 is, bro?
Yeah, a mass majority.
That nigga died. He got smoked. He got saved.
Nah, that's nigga definitely got a whole boot in his face 3 times. Like, you're laying on your back getting. I don't think I've ever seen that in a real fight. Of
right
somebody like their face getting stomped in like that.
Right before that, they pointed out till he was like, big CGI fight coming up, and then the 2 niggas started fighting. But yeah, whenever Deadpool was fighting Colossus, that nigga Colossus was on his ass, and Deadpool got up there. He was like, "Hey, big guy, the sun's getting low."
That shit was funny.
What Black Widow was saying to the Hulk to come.
Yeah. Oh, and they did. Okay, so they do this thing where, and I want to say they got it from the video game from back in the day, because the video game came out in like 2013. And he does this fucking sissified scream every time some shit happens. Kind of like whenever Negasonic Teenage Warhead blasted him up to where Ajax was in the first one. And he does that super high-pitched bitch voice, bitch scream. He does the same thing in this one. He getting tossed the fuck around by Juggernaut. And then they insert a scream, like it's an iconic scream from a scene from Empire, from Star Wars Empire or Empire Strikes Back, whatever the fuck it's called. And it's been mentioned in, like, it's extremely iconic. They use it in damn near everything where you have a person scream. Most of the time it's used for comedy, but they insert it in when he getting beat up as well.
Also, it's a lot of like crossover here with so whenever you see them fighting at the end, like in the playground, that's the same like set that they used for T2, Terminator 2. And so if you take that and then you look at Cable is essentially
a
Terminator.
Yeah.
And I just had this thought right now, but I never thought about it before. But this plot point of what they're doing in this movie with
Is Terminator?
Russell,
Yes.
it's essentially Terminator, right? He's
Yes.
coming back in
100%.
time to stop. I mean, to kill somebody because of
To kill a
something that
child, to keep
person
from
did
that
in the
child
future.
growing up, and
Yeah, like I just realized that like
that's
5 minutes ago,
fire.
that
That's
it's the
fire.
same thing.
It's stealing, but it's fire writing because you know they did that shit on purpose, especially using him with how he looks. Excuse
It's
me.
not even really stealing because if you talk about like everything that's like
Nothing
in
is
movies
original.
and
Yes.
yeah, everything in these movies like kind of get recycled. Like the whole thing with like when you see them coming down and dying, I mean that's the same thing that happened in the second Suicide movie too, where they were just killing
Suicide
off
movie.
them motherfuckers. Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Oh.
When they was just killing off them
Yeah.
motherfuckers
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the same thing.
I got you.
So I wouldn't really call it stealing, but you know, a lot of these ideas get used.
It's reused and
different ways.
repurposed. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, it's essentially pretty much Terminator, like you said. So, and then
That's
one
crazy.
thing I
I
do
actually
like,
did not notice that. I never noticed that, and I've seen this movie mad times.
I didn't notice the whole Russell thing and the Terminator thing until like really just 2-3 minutes ago. Us talking about this.
That's crazy.
But I'll say that one thing that I did like too at the end, whenever he sacrificed himself for Russell, he jumped in front of the bullets. He was on the ground giving that big dramatic speech and shit. That nigga was finna die. That nigga was like, "Yeah, I hope the Academy's watching." Like, because
it was just it's a Deadpool death. It makes so much sense.
Not even that it's a Deadpool death, but obviously it's Ryan Reynolds, and even though it's Deadpool, it's a death scene. So he's dying and he's trying to be dramatic with the dying, even though it's the joke. He's trying to be dramatic, and the nigga like, oh, I hope the niggas that give out the Oscars are watching. I think that's kind of fire.
I guarantee that the exact time duration was like 1 second longer than like the world's or history's longest death in a movie, and they did that shit on purpose. Like that's just seemed like some Ryan Reynolds writing team shit to do.
Yeah. And with
and
the
then
with
they
the
make
Deadpool
the
shit,
oh,
you know, he
go ahead.
improvises a lot too. So
Of course.
I don't know, I don't know what's improvised, what's written, but either way, like it's a lot of good shit that be in these movies.
Yeah, them bringing back the Papa Can You Hear Me? Do you want to build a snowman shit? Yeah, I have a 6-year-old, so of course I've unfortunately seen Frozen. I fucking hate that movie. But the call back to that of them watching the movie, him and Vanessa watching the movie, and then him dying to go see Vanessa, he's making this connection. Just again, great writing and great jokes.
Yeah, I agree.
Another another pop culture reference. This what year did this come out?
Like 2018.
Yeah, so this is after dubstep has already died, and he asks after he figures out that or finds out Cable is from the future. He asks him 3 questions. He says, is dubstep? What did he say? Is dubstep still a thing? He asked him, at what point can the audience say they're tired of metal arms? And there was one more thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but when they start fighting again, he got him choked up with his fucking arm or some shit while it's broken. And he says, "I love dubstep," in like one of the biggest dubstep songs from back when dubstep was a thing. Starts, I think it's called Bangarang. It starts playing in the background as they're fighting, and then they bring it back again whenever he mentions dubstep again.
So I'll give you the list of people that they considered to play Cable, and tell me. I'm gonna go through the list, and then I want you to tell me if you think any of them could have played it, or if you would have want to see any of them play it.
Okay.
So the Dolph nigga, I don't know how to say that nigga last name. You know what I'm talking about? The nigga from Rocky.
Dolph. Talking about the Russian?
The Russian.
That makes a lot of sense.
Just
because I know they're trying to.
I don't know how to say his
name. I know who you're talking about. Because I know they're trying to fit the role aesthetically, and they already have a layout of what Cable should look like, that makes sense a lot. Acting wise, I'm not 100% sure, but aesthetically, it makes sense.
They made a joke too about him being like 5'10" or something like that, because Josh
Not called
Brolin's
him a midget.
5'10". Yeah, because in the comics, Cable is like 6'8" or something like that. So
Right.
obviously they ain't have no 6'8" plant in this nigga. So so the Dolph nigga, they got Mel Gibson, Kurt Russell.
No.
Kurt Russell?
Remind me of who Kurt Russell is.
Didn't Kurt Russell play Ego in Guardians? Ain't that Kurt Russell?
Oh, okay. I think he's a little too. I don't know. He looks too old. I'll say again, aesthetically, I feel like he looks a little bit too old to play this.
Am I tripping? Is that Kurt Russell that played Ego?
Is that Kurt Russell, or is that the dude that played Leonidas in fucking
Russell
300?
Crowe?
Oh, that's Russell Crowe. Never mind. So no, not him. I think you're right. I think that's the person who plays Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
No, I think I'm wrong.
Whatever. Continue the list.
Hell nah, nigga, I gotta find this out.
Jesus
Who played
Christ.
Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy? That was who the fuck is it? See, bro, now I gotta look up shit on my phone. It's easier. I'm used to using my phone. Ego.
You can't
Guardians.
type on the keyboard.
Yeah, but like my shit is searching on Microsoft Bing, bro, instead of Google.
Ugh.
So yeah,
Kurt uses Bing.
my fucking Safari or whatever it's called.
Microsoft
Edge. Microsoft Edge does.
Nigga, lights out TV, so you got slow ass internet, nigga.
Nah, it's this Microsoft Bing pulls. It's trash. But yeah, Kurt Russell was Ego for sure.
Okay. I'm cool on him for Cable.
All right. Bruce Willis.
No.
Alec Baldwin.
Maybe. Maybe I can see him playing this.
Sylvester Stallone.
Fuck no.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So fuckity fuck no. Why they would consider these old ass motherfuckers to play this shit?
To be fair though, we just mentioned the Terminator thing, and that's Arnold's character. That's literally him.
Shout out you, Blandy Lopez. I don't know what that means.
How old is Josh?
They love you, can you? Huh?
If they love you, can you?
I don't know.
What that mean, man? Josh Brolin is 56.
The one who played Cable.
Cable, yeah. I mean,
He's
Arnold
56,
is the Terminator.
Which means
though.
Arnold and Stallone have to be damn near 70. I'm cool, bro.
70.
I'm cool. And they can't speak neither one of them can speak proper English. No.
I hear what you saying, bro. How old is Kurt Russell? Let me see. Kurt Russell, 73.
He can also speak proper English.
Yeah, but look at Cable up here, like on the screen. Like he don't look that young either. Like,
of course, he don't look that young. He looks like a seasoned soldier, but he doesn't look like fucking Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger looks like shit.
Come on, bro.
He does, bro.
I'm kind of with you on these names, but also Arnold is the Terminator, so I could definitely see him playing this role.
He was the Terminator in the fucking 80s.
It's him. No, it was the 90s, but it's him.
Whenever the fuck it was mad long ago.
90s. T2
he might have already been 50 in the 90s.
Come on, bro. He only 70 something.
That nigga's old as shit, bro. I'm cool.
This is the thing, though. We just seen them in the Expendables movie, like still. Like it ain't like they can't.
You may have seen him in the Expendables movie. I didn't go see that shit.
How many of them you seen?
2.
Which one is the first
and
one?
I barely remember the second one.
Oh well. The first one came out in 2010, man.
It was all right. It was fire. It did exactly what it needed to do. The second one was ass. I said, this is stupid. And they came out with a third one. I said, fuck no. And they put 50 Cent in the fourth one to get the niggas to come see it. And I said, fuck you.
Which one was Stone Cold in? The first one?
No, he wasn't in the first one. He was in the second one, I want to say. Either the second or the third one.
Nigga, Stone Cold was whooping some ass. I don't know.
That's what's up, bro. I'm cool on Arnold and Stallone.
All right, Stephen Lang.
I don't remember who that is. I know that name. I don't remember who that is though.
You don't know Stephen Lang?
Oh, shit.
The nigga from Avatar, huh?
The nigga from Avatar.
The nigga from Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe, the blind man.
Oh yeah. I can see him playing that. I can see him playing him. Yeah, I can see him playing him. Because I think they made him look older for Don't Breathe.
Pierce Brosnan. I think KTL fuck with him.
I don't know who that is.
Pierce Brosnan, he was on the podcast at least twice.
What movies?
Well, I'm the one that saw I think he was in Dungeons and Dragons. I saw that one. Y'all didn't see that one.
Yeah.
He played James Bond though back in the day. Like in the 90s or some shit. He played James Bond back then. But he was on something else we did.
I haven't seen. So I know who you're talking about right now.
He was on.
I haven't seen him
picked, bro.
bulky though. Like I haven't seen him swole up. So I don't know.
He was on the one you picked, No Escape. Remember, he was like a little cop that got
Yeah.
He shot a nigga in a truck or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But no, I don't know if I can see him playing this.
I feel like that's similar role. Like what I envision Cable
accolades wise, yes, it makes sense.
No, Roots. I'm saying at its core, I think Cable is just like when you talk about like the body type or the action. Who else said No Escape was ass? He's essentially just like, let's say, like a special forces type of character.
Yeah.
So anybody that can play like a special forces or a SWAT team kind of role or something like that, you just make him a time traveler. Yeah,
cool, but also I don't believe that all of his movements were fucking CGI made. And with Stallone and fucking what's his fucking face? What's that other old nigga? You fucking mentioned him. God damn it. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone. I feel like if they walk too fast, they'll break a fucking hip. Like, I don't give a fuck what they were doing back in the day. Today, or at least in 2018, they're too fucking old to be playing these fucking roles.
Arnold fucked up, low key.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Arnold was a physical like type of nigga as just like a person.
Yes, I understand. Now he's old as fuck.
Action movies, but that don't mean
he
wasn't
fucking.
That don't mean he wasn't
the fucking governor of California or some shit.
He was. Yeah, he was. I don't know.
Yeah, let him stay in politics, bro. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on this take. Like,
bro, he can't say words.
He never been able to say words, and they still like was casting him and stuff.
For lead roles and shit. I don't think I've ever seen him in a role that wasn't a lead role. And if I did, I didn't fuck with it.
He said nigga killed the Predator and Roots think he can't be in the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, you can stay with that Rambo shit, bro. That was 100% the 80s. And they're not in the jungle not one time in this whole movie. So it might be up for that nigga.
They literally made Expendables like last year, man. And we talking about like 5 years before that. So I definitely could have
I don't care.
Seen them in it. And the last person who they wanted was Russell Crowe, who we mentioned a minute ago.
That would have been fire.
Russell Crowe be playing them type of roles. I can see him.
Too. Yeah, I can see him. I can definitely see him playing.
Actually, I don't think Russell Crowe was 300. Russell Crowe was a gladiator, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking of
300 was Gerard Butler, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Gladiator. At the same time, I want to say around the same time as this came out, maybe a couple years before, he was in the Mummy reboot. He played Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde character, but he was a little chubby in that. So, but I mean, these actors be doing whatever the fuck to get in shape for these movies. So it's possible. But acting wise, I definitely think he can. Russell Crowe can play pretty much any fucking thing. He's a god tier actor.
Russell Crowe was yeah, I think we covered that when we did A Beautiful Mind. Like he played like a lot of different roles around that same time that was completely different, because he did Gladiator like a year before A Beautiful Mind or something like that, or and then he did one right after. I can't remember what it was, but the roles were
he got
completely different.
awards for all that shit.
Yeah, Russell Crowe might be one of them niggas, man. I don't know. And I just said he was ego too. Yeah, like he might be one of them ones. And the last thing I'm gonna say about this movie is that the orphanage in this movie was Essex. That was the name of the orphanage, and that's
a real orphanage.
No, that's the name of Mr. Sinister. That's his real name, like his last name. And he had like a similar thing like that, where he had like the orphanage for the young mutants, and he was doing the shit like that. So I don't know if this character was supposed to be like a Mr. Sinister type character, or if it's just like a reference.
I don't think it's him. However,
it's not him. Definitely
something. So they did the same thing in Logan, and they did the same thing in, I want to say, either Dark Phoenix or First Class. The things that are tied to him in the comics, Mr. Sinister, pop up often in the FX universe side of Marvel. So I don't know if that would have been a thing had they stayed a separate entity. I don't know if they're gonna use these things to kind of bring him along, but he's definitely like, I mean, we saw him in fucking 97, even though he was a kind of like a co-pilot, or like the top henchman. He's still a fire villain. I can definitely see them. Hell, they're looking for a new big bad in Marvel right now. I don't know if it'll work because he definitely a fuck nigga. But I don't know if it'll work.
Bastion. They should go get Bastion.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that's what I was about to say. They're more so on the X-Men side. Like, they don't cross over to the Avengers side often. Maybe you might see them in a fight with Fantastic Four, which hopefully that's coming soon. But I don't know if they can use him for a big bad. I feel like they would be completely fabricating any big, making him a big bad for the Avengers. But seeing as they're looking to kind of reboot this X-Men thing, I think it would definitely be a good idea to bring.
I think they're crossing
Mr.
over
Sinister
though.
Yeah, most definitely they are.
Because obviously we get this Deadpool Wolverine thing, and they're involving the TVA and the timelines and all that. But also, I think it was the Marvels, the end credit of the Marvels. If you remember, they had Monica Rambeau there.
Yeah.
And then she woke up in the hospital, and Beast was there operating on her.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're actually, yes, they're looking to do a crossover.
The Professor X thing
there's
too.
Also
with
with him being a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
They're looking to do, so there's a rumor going around that they're looking to do Avengers versus X-Men movie.
Ass.
I mean,
at this point,
I don't know.
Trash. If it was the originals, sure.
Oh, you saying with the motherfuckers they got now?
Yeah, trash.
Okay, yeah. Now, like, the Avengers are probably losing, but there's also saying that Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America, he's supposed to be getting the super serum in the movie soon, so he's gonna be basically a black Captain America.
I don't want to see that either.
Probably, I don't either. But I mean, it's what they're doing.
They should have. What they should have done was just, if they wanted to upgrade Falcon, they could have did it. I don't think they should have made him Captain America. They probably could have just went and got that U.S. agent nigga, bro.
Nah, that nigga crazy. You seen what that nigga did?
Yeah, but I don't want to see Sam flying around with a shield, bro. I don't want to.
Yeah, you would
black
think that they
Captain
would just
America
make
is
his wings this like made of vibranium
They got a
instead of
black
having
Captain America though.
who?
What's the old man? What you remember?
Nah,
You
he's
remember?
the old. He's the yeah. I know. I remember from the Winter
But he got his
Soldier
grandson
shit.
too. Wasn't his grandson supposed to be like in the Young Avengers? The
Yes,
little kid that was on there.
yes.
Yeah, they
So
tripping.
so they might make him like the mini. Especially, I can definitely see it now with the
I think it's like
woke shit.
Isaiah Bradley or something like that. I can't remember what his name was, but it's something along those lines.
But yeah,
He was like the first black super soldier, right?
yes. And they hid that nigga because America is racist.
Yeah, man. But anyway, let's get this over with. I ain't got nothing else to say about this movie.
Great fucking movie. Definitely looking forward to the new movie. I think this helps set up. Even though the movie itself didn't help set up much, I think him getting the time travel shit definitely helps set up for what they're doing with the new one. Because we know the TVA gets it's already been introduced through Loki, but now it's being integrated into pretty much everything that we have going on right now. And so the end credit scene of him going and what he thought was fiction shit might have been actually fucking shit up. It helped set up for the new movie. So
hey, Roots, and it was parts in so obviously Deadpool is finally crossing over to the MCU, but it was parts in the Once Upon a Deadpool where Fred Savage was like, yeah, nah, I don't really like that. That's why I prefer Marvel movies. And he was like, nah, we are Marvel. And nigga was like, nah, y'all more like Marvel. That's what he said, like produced by
FX
Fox
sponsored by Marvel.
Like yeah, so he was making that distinction.
That nigga.
Like y'all Marvel, but y'all like Fox and Marvel.
Y'all like USPA, like the
you polo, but
like the fake polo.
US polo. He was making that distinction, and Ryan Reynolds was telling him like, well, yeah, well, Fox is getting bought out by Disney and this and that. So I think now we finally finna get that crossover to where it was Marvel, but now it's crossing over to the cinematic universe. So looking forward.
I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited that they're using, like, if you're gonna use a single character to move the MCU into a positive direction. I don't know what that is. If you're gonna use one singular character to push forward all of the storylines, it definitely makes sense for it to be Deadpool. I feel like that's probably the only person you can use, honestly. So, shout out Deadpool. Can't wait to see the movie tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, join the Discord, and we'll be back this week. Well, we'll probably be back later on today so we can do this Logan shit. But we'll definitely be back this weekend to do the recap for the new Deadpool Wolverine movie.
Yeah, man.
You were supposed to be queuing up the music,
nigga, that's my line. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord, link in the description. Appreciate everybody for pulling up to the stream. Appreciate everybody for watching, man. We'll be back. Cue the music, Roots. We now bring to you the tunes.
I got a bad bitch. I got a bad bitch, yeah. I got a bad
sensational
bitch.
styling.
I got a bad bitch, yeah. I got a bad bitch. I got a bad bitch, yeah. I got a bad bitch. Oh,
The musical masterpiece.
you were my bitch.
You were my bitch.
Yeah, give me that shit.
You gotta get on the remix, Ruth.
No, I'm good. I'm cool.
She a baddie, she gonna do what I say. Get the addy, the lean to the Alizé. Send a addy, I beat it on Saturday. Baddie, she heard, but I didn't know she better be. Fuck a bitch, well, I'm just a man of me. All the cake now, I'm showing I had a bake. Let her bestie come through, we gon' have a 3. If she better not, baby, girl, mad at me. I got a bad bitch. I got a bad bitch, yeah. I got a bad bitch.